What's up guys, Enkiri here. Welcome to vlog number 29. This ended up being quite the productive training session. On the menu for today is some big bounding, some single leg hopping for distance, narrow stance squat triples, and heavy deadlift triples. This set here is my second to last set of bounding for the day, and I'm pushing my perceived level of effort up to approximately 98% here, which still feels quite lackadaisical in terms of effort when it comes to jumping, which makes the fact that this set was only 1 inch below my all-time best ever set of 50 feet and 3 inches pretty damn impressive actually. I basically just matched my PR here without jumping at maximum effort. This is how I like to train my jumps, especially horizontal jumps. I do far more sets where I'm jumping in the range of 90 to 98% perceived effort than I do maximal effort jumps, which lets me get in a lot of high quality work without trashing myself. After this set, however, I knew unless I screwed up terribly that I was going to hit a lifetime PR on the final set when I actually went all out. And not only did I hit a lifetime PR, but I far exceeded my own expectations. I ended up jumping 51 feet and 6 inches over 5 consecutive jumps, which is a 15-inch lifetime PR, and finally beats my PR from 2015 on this exercise. This is like adding 100 pounds to your squat in 6 months. This is a huge increase on a jumping exercise. And yes, there are 5 jumps, so there's more opportunity for a bigger PR. But back in 2015, when I was last doing this exercise consistently, I think I only ever cracked 50 feet on 3 or 4 occasions. And I simply could not best my performance by more than maybe an inch at a time if I was lucky. I never even thought I would ever crack 51 feet. And this is only my second time doing the exercise, or any form of horizontal jumping really, in like 2 or 3 years. The next landmark will be 52 feet, and now I see no reason why I can't get there too. My power output has clearly increased dramatically these last couple of years. After I smoked this, I decided to try the triple hop again real quick, just for a couple sets, because I figured I'd be able to best my performance from the prior week, which was my first ever attempt at the exercise. And I managed to get around the 29-foot mark with both legs, which is about a foot farther than I got last time. I can't complain about that, but I wanted to get to 30 feet. I guess I'll have to save that for next time though. After all the jumping, I moved on to some narrow stance squatty squats. I was working with 365 pounds on the squat triples, and overall they were quite easy. But the same as the last few sessions that preceded this one, they just felt awkward with the narrow stance and the low bar positioning. This session called for 5 triples with 365 pounds, but I ended up getting a little bit fed up with how crummy the reps were feeling, and so on the 4th set, I just ended up knocking out a set of 5 instead and moving on to the deadlifts. This session here is actually the last one where I used this narrow stance low bar style, and for the last couple weeks, I've actually switched back to a regular old high bar squat. And that's the only form of squatting I've done for the last few weeks as I wait for this inflammation around the lateral aspect of my right hip to clear up, which has become quite stubborn, so I need to be careful with it. Like I said though, these reps were all pretty easy and the bar was moving well like it should be at this weight, but this Frankenstein technique has just been feeling worse and worse with every session. So I decided I needed to make a change after this one, and the high bar squats have definitely been feeling better. They may be a little bit harder in an objective sense since the leverages are a little bit worse, but I think they look and feel smoother than the squats in this vlog. The next squat vlog I'm prepping is my first high bar session with 370 pounds, so you guys will see what I'm talking about there. I'm just not going to mess around with any more low bar squatting until I'm ready to go back to a true low bar squat with my normal squat stance. That was starting to feel really good in terms of technical execution. Once I started working some of those heavy singles into the mix last month, they were almost flawless from a technique standpoint, and in my opinion, were much better than any of my previous attempts at heavy low bar squatting. I've never really maxed out my squat with a true high bar style or a true low bar style in the past, and this new technique I'm trying to learn still isn't really a true low bar style in terms of bar placement, but it's low enough that this is the first time I've ever actually really been able to get my hips involved in the squat to the point where I can actually feel the hip drive that Ripto is always droning on about. And I have to say, I think I've been doing myself a disservice all these years by ignoring that advice. With just a slightly lower bar positioning and a slightly wider stance and a little bit more focus on the hips, in just one training cycle, I was able to greatly increase the efficiency of my squat technique. And I hit a solid 450-pound single that probably left about 15 to 20 pounds in the tank on that particular day. And while that's still about 30 pounds shy of my lifetime best squat at this particular body weight, it isn't a bad place for me to be, because the fact is, prior to last month, I had never actually hit that weight before in just sleeves with such little practice with heavy weights and such little squat training in general. I've only ever been able to touch those weights in the past when I was squatting heavy at least 3 times a week, but usually more than that. Whereas this past training cycle saw me squatting just twice a week, one day being a light day and the other day being just a moderate day. There was no super intense training and no big push for big weights. To me, that means that when I do decide to make the big push, I'll be able to surpass those lifetime best lifts that seem so far away right now. The key is simply going to be patience, consistency, and sticking to the plan until I'm blue in the face, even if all my squat training appears unimpressive on the surface. After the squats, I moved on to deadlift triples. This session is my ramp-up day, so rather than doing straight sets here, I just knock out triples and keep adding weight to the bar until I get to something resembling a 3-rep max for the day. I used the hook grip up to 405, which felt pretty good this session. I could hold a little bit more with the hook right now, but I'm trying to work my way up slowly, so I threw the short straps on after that. My top set here is a triple with 500 pounds, which was pretty solid. There's some technical kinks to work out. The first rep was a little bit iffy as I let the bar drift out in front of me during the transition over the knees. And then when I set the bar down between reps, it kept trying to run away from me, which was really fucking annoying. But all in all, not a bad start for my first heavy conventional pull since I don't even remember, but it's definitely been many months. Anyway, I think that's about all I got for now, guys. Please be sure to like the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and definitely leave me some love in the comments down below. Other than that, if you enjoy the content I produce, please share your favorite stuff somewhere, and together, let's make Forest the Wolves Gym one of the biggest fitness channels on YouTube. Keep training hard, and I will catch you guys next time.